Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I'm coming to you guys today with another Duel Links episode, and it's been a while since I've played Duel Links on the channel, but rest assured I have not stopped. Actually, I've been very excited the past week or two about Duel Links, because there was a box that came out pretty recently, and if you're not familiar, I will go ahead and shuffle on over to it. But Primal Burst came out, and this box had a lot of very cool archetypes in it. I'll go ahead and show you guys. I guess they're all sort of hidden on the right side of my screen here. I can quickly turn this off and I can show you guys some of the cool cards that are in here. So like Gaia Plate made magnets a lot better, which is very cool. We've got Snow from Dark Worlds. In addition to that, we've got Dark World Lightning, which is pretty neat. We've got Forbidden Dress, which is a cool card from TCG. Not necessarily as good as Forbidden Chalice or Forbidden Lance. Obviously, we don't have Lance yet in Duel Links, but you know, those are the cards that I think of together. We also have Volcanic Rocket, and this is probably the card I was most excited for in this set, without a doubt. There's other cool stuff like Light Sworns and things like that, but I don't think Light Sworns are quite ready for prime time. But yeah, this box is just really cool, added a bunch of really cool archetypes. Obviously, people are kind of upset about Bamboos being in this box because it makes the Woodland Sprite deck very boring to play versus. Like, I think strictly speaking that Bamboo isn't that good of a deck because if it's going first, it still only wins like 50-60% of the time first turn. And if it's going second, it's very vulnerable to Floodgate and Econ. So that's important to note. But anyway, like, it's not that, it's like, that's not the reason people dislike it. It's just like, you know, you're playing solitaire with yourself, right? If you're playing this sort of deck. And if you're ranking up, it sucks that your ability to get to King of Games is dependent on somebody basically flipping a coin. But anyway, overall, very cool box. And by the time this video goes up, there should be another new box, this selection box that's coming out, which is basically got a bunch of reprints in it, plus a few other interesting cards like Dark World Dealings and things like that. Like, people are kind of, well, not kind of, people are disappointed that there's some new cards being included in this, because basically there's a whole bunch of reprints, cards that presumably a lot of people already have copies of, and so now they have to draw all these cards in order to get like 4 ultra rare exclusives and like 4 or 6 super rare exclusives. Like, people are understandably frustrated about that, but for new players, it's a really nice way to just get all the good staples like Soul Exchange, Mirror Wall, Sphere Karibo, Sonic Bird, Senju, things like that. Like, it's very nice to get it all in one place without having to dig through like 10 different boxes. So maybe there's some sort of solution that they can come up with to make the older players happy. There's a decent chance that happens. There's some rumors about ultra rare tickets being something that can get pulled out of the packs instead of ultra rare cards themselves. So you can use that to redeem for something that you actually want instead of getting like your 4th copy of Ninjutsu Art of Transformation or whatever. But I don't know what that is right now. There's not any information. Like, if I click on this thing, yeah, all that we have right now is the notice about the Duel-thon that starts next week. So when Zane is done, Duel-thon will start. And Zane actually is yeah, still going on. I can show you guys my farm deck, I guess, if you're really interested. I'll just do that real quick. But I'm running a Winged Rod deck that I found on the Duel Links meta Discord. Here, let me just do this, and I can also tell you guys the name of the gentleman that I am copying, just so I give him the proper credit. But Zane's been very difficult for me, not because he's difficult to farm, but because I keep finding him at level 30, which is so frustrating. Like, typically I don't bother farming level 30 just because the drop rates are worse. But this is Pilot's deck, and basically you use Spirit Barrier plus Unhappy Girl plus Turbulence to stall until the final turn, and then you summon Ra. And you get an extra bonus for summoning this because it's Divine. You also get bonus because it's Prismatic, and you easily do 10,000 damage with this because you're getting life points the whole duel with Golden Ladybug, so it's very fun to use. But anyway, that's not why we're here today doing this episode. It's already been 5 minutes, and I haven't even shown you the deck that we're going to be using today. You might have been able to guess it. It is Volcanics. And before I forget, I'm going to throw my little background back up so you don't see all of the ugly stuff on the right side of the screen. Or it's not that the right side of the screen's ugly, but it's when I like overlay my webcam and stuff on it, it doesn't look very good. It looks better to have it covered up. And then I can also show you the deck list, which you should see right now. This is my Volcanics deck list. This is inspired by the Y-Bona version, again from the Duel Links Minute Discord. Key texts in here are Goka, which is useful for getting rid of cards that have been massive morphed, cards that have been floodgated, like you can tribute summon floodgated cards with Goka, which is really nice. You can use it to destroy Brushfire Knight, and when Brushfire Knight is destroyed, you can send a fire monster to the graveyard, so you can put Shell in the graveyard, and things like that. So it's pretty cool. Like this deck is very good versus certain decks like Gladiator Beasts that really rely on having their monsters tagging in and tagging out. You can just like stop all of their momentum by destroying their cards, and even if you have to wait to attack until afterwards, it's really nice. This deck struggles more versus things like Hazy Flame, and also it seems to have quite a bit of trouble versus Burn. I haven't quite figured out that matchup yet. But anyway, we are running 2 copies of Super Rush Headlong to help with that matchup versus Hazy Flame, like I mentioned, and the triple Floodgate helps as well. But for dealing with Burn, I'm not really sure what the best strategy is. We'll have to see. If we get like a Mill deck or a Burn deck, we probably are just going to lose. But anyway, thanks for bearing with me. It's been 7 minutes and we haven't started any Duel Links yet. So let's just hop right on into it. We are in Legend 2. Trying to get up to King of Games, of course. Using not necessarily this deck. Sorry, just checking a text message, making sure it wasn't too important. I've been climbing mostly with Gladiator Beasts, which I've done the last 2 seasons. Just because Glads are really consistent, and it's really good in the meta right now. Like, the only thing it kind of struggles versus is Ninjas, and annoyingly, Ninjas haven't been nerfed yet. Like, I wish that they had just done the the nerfs at the same time, the restricted list nerfs and then the skill nerfs. So they should have just done it at the same time, but what are you gonna do? So I got a pretty nice hand here. I have both Rocket and Shell. I already have Blaze Accelerator, which is a little annoying. I'd rather the Blaze Accelerator be another card because my Volcanic Rocket can search for it. Other versions of this deck run a copy of Tri-Blaze Accelerator, in addition to the 1 copy of Blaze Accelerator, but I just don't think it's worth the card slot, to be honest. Except in this situation, it's kind of nice because then you can burn your opponent. But anyway, I do think I'll summon the Rocket just so I've got something that I can, you know, protect my life points with. And then we will play the Accelerator and blow up whatever he's got down there. If he's playing Seto Kaiba, what is his skill? He hasn't shown a skill yet. I'm thinking this is... It's got a good chance to be Red Eyes. But let's find out. If it is Red Eyes, and this is probably like a Bacon Saver or something. It's also possible that he's playing Beatdown Phoenix, and this is something like a Man-Eater Bug. In which case, I'm pretty happy to blow it up. If it's something like Yaksha, that's obviously less good. But at least we can find out right now. And it is Man-Eater Bug. So yeah, this is most likely Phoenix. In which case, I'm kind of curious as to what his face downs are. Probably like Wild Tornadoes. He could potentially be running Econ, so we'll have to be very weary of that. I kind of don't want to set my Super Rush Headlong. So we can't declare an attack on the turn that we use Blaze Accelerator's effect, so we just go to end phase. But yeah, I haven't had to play Phoenix with this deck. Phoenix seems like the sort of deck that would do very well versus Volcanics. Just because, like, we can continually kill the Phoenix, of course, but it's just going to continue to come back, and it's kind of a fat monster. That's going to be very hard for us to deal with. Yeah, so, yeah, I just don't have a good feeling about this deck. We're not going to be able to beat him fast enough. The only way that we might be able to is if we draw like a Goka next turn. That's like maybe the only way that we can make this go faster. So he's got a Yaksha in hand now. I wonder what his second card is. I presume that the Phoenix that he added with the cards of the soul. I assume that that is. Sorry, that's probably what he destroyed. He probably doesn't have a second one in hand. So I think what I want to do here... Oh, this is really tricky. Like I said, I really want Goka. I want to set Super Rush, so that way when... Well, no, so Phoenix is going to come back, but then it's going to get destroyed because Fire King Island is still on the field. So I think I'm just going to attack. I probably should have put 2 monsters out, actually. But maybe it'll be okay. Maybe he has Windstorm or something. Yeah, he does have Windstorm. So it was kind of a moot point. Like, we wouldn't have been able to get any damage off anyway. Now the only thing that's going to stink is that he's going to be able to kill our Rocket here with the Yaksha that he has in his hand. Unless this is a Wild Tornado face down, in which case he's going to destroy it anyway. And then at that point, all that we're losing is life points. And, like, you want to be fairly careful with your life points in this deck. But I'm not going to be digging for Shell all that often. Oh, I didn't get to see what got destroyed. I'll look in a moment, but it wasn't Wild Tornado, obviously. It was Enemy Controller. So... So, yeah, this is a precarious situation, for sure. So, what do I have in my graveyard here? I've got those 2 guys. I mean, so I can summon Rocket. And, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that you can add it from your grave. That's excellent. That's very nice. So, it makes perfect sense then, you know, there's no reason to play more than 1 if you can grab it out of your grave. But do I want to set this Super Rush? I feel like I do. So that way when Phoenix comes back, I can chain Super Rush and he can't kill me with any of his fire monsters. So at least I have recourse for the following turn. Let's see if he's got Karibo. Doesn't seem like it. So at least we destroy his Yaksha. But then, like I said, his Phoenix will come out. And there won't be much that we can do besides just chain Super Rush. Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know what my win condition is in this scenario. Like, we just don't have a good way of dealing with Phoenix. And I feel like Phoenix is not, like, a bad deck at this point in time. Like, it was bad versus Cyber Angels because, obviously, they've got very good non-destructive removal with Dakini. But now that Cyber Angels isn't really a thing, there's nothing that's preventing Phoenix from becoming a good deck again, I don't think. Like, it still kind of gets destroyed by ninjas because it's kind of slow. And it just should just be able to nuke through... should just be able to nuke through the Phoenix deck until, you know, before they get really going. But yeah, let's see what he chooses to do here. Again, unless I draw, like, a Goka here, I'm kind of in trouble. Like, I kind of can't do anything. Alright, so he does just choose to destroy himself. Okay, we do draw Goka. I'm gonna wait a turn, though. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna set a Super Rush. I'm gonna destroy whatever this is. Unless do I think that this is a Man-Eater? Or do I think it's another Yaksha? Ugh. If it is a Man-Eater, then... Like, the reason I don't want to play another card is because I want to be able to, like, use Super Rush. No, I think it's worth it. So, let's just summon, Brushfire. Actually, no, this should be fine. No, we can't... Yeah, this is a tricky situation. So anyway, so let's just attack with this. I'm hoping this is Man-Eater. It's a Yaksha, so that's okay. And then he will be able to get his Phoenix out again next turn, but we can at least protect our Rocket. And then we can summon Goka, and Goka can attack over... it can attack over Phoenix, assuming he doesn't have a Karibo. So let's protect our rocket once again. And he can choose to trigger his, to trigger his Phoenix again. He can recycle it, which is totally fine. Because I don't have any back row that I'm playing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, this is a slow and difficult matchup. That's for sure. So he's got another card. That must be a Wild Tornado. Oh, did you see that? I can activate it. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but... That's pretty annoying. I mean, if I were him, I would just attack into... Oh, he's not going to attack this turn. So what is this card then? This must be like Curse of Anubis or something. I don't really get his plays, but that's alright. Actually, I don't hate this. So I can send another shell to the grave. Does that give me 4 Pyro Monsters in the grave? I don't know. Let's figure this out. So we draw Divine Wrath. That's actually pretty nice. It allows us to stall it for another turn. We've got 1 rocket, 1 shell. Okay, so we only have 3 Pyro Monsters. So here's what I'm thinking. We can special summon this. And then we can destroy the rocket. And then what that does is it gives us a 4th Pyro in the grave for Firestorm Guards. This allows us to draw into potentially like a Floodgate or another card that would be nice for Phoenix. So, plus we, just Firestorm Guards feels so good. And we draw exactly into what we want here. Let's see. And we can pump this. Do I want to pump it? I don't think so. The thing is, I don't know if Divine Wrath prevents freaking Phoenix from coming back again. I don't think it does. So anyway, let's just swing here. And there's almost the only thing it might be. Okay, so it is a Wild Tornado that he's got face down there. But yes, now we can go ahead and Floodgate the Phoenix that comes out here. I think we've got this. It's a tough duel. I feel like this is a very hard matchup. But we were able to pull it off. And there's a Fire King Island that gets destroyed. Oh, he had a Card of the Soul that was set. And yeah, we're able to win that game. So awesome. That feels very good. Again, that was a very, very grueling matchup. But that's kind of just how Volcanics play. It's very slow, pretty patient. You just have to pick your opportunities to poke and things like that. The biggest problem that I've seen with Volcanics is just the consistency isn't there. We're playing dual standby because you really have to open rocket plus shell, and if you don't, then you're kind of screwed. Just because you're gonna get killed before you can get your engine going. So we are going to be playing a Yamayugi deck here, so this is probably going to be Burn. Which, as I mentioned, I don't think it's a matchup that favors Volcanics. I think it's definitely in the favor of Burn. Oh, he's playing Balance, so it's probably not. It's probably not that then. We drew a pretty freaking bad hand, so I don't even know what to do here. It doesn't help that I don't know at all what he's playing. Maybe he's just playing some sort of control. If I play this face up, it's totally giving away the fact that I'm about to set a Super Rush. There's no other reason for me to play this unless it's a bait. So we'll see what he's got here. Gyoku, okay. Alright, so that's actually not bad for me. I don't mind that he pins the Super Rush. What deck is this? I really don't know what deck this is. Do I want to Curse of Anubis this? I kind of do, just because it's cheeky. Because then I can flip up my shell next turn and I can kill his tiger, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, what kind of balance deck would freaking play... Flame Tiger? I don't know. Like, Hazy with balance doesn't make any sense. So anyway, we luckily drew into, like, the one card that we needed. So I'm pretty happy about that. I don't think I would need to blow up the tiger. I think I can keep the ammo in my hand. So let's just set the Super Rush, flip summon the shell. I do have a Super Rush face down now to protect myself. And he's going to econ something. He's going to econ the rocket, so that's fine. But hopefully I can still kill this tiger, right? That's what I'm hoping happens. Yes! Alright, Volcanic Shell getting a KO. That feels good. It's not something you see every day, so... So he does get the option to bring back his tiger now, which... Like, so presumably he has something in his hand that he wants to tribute summon. I just don't know what that is. I do hope that it's like a Hazy, because we've got exactly the card that we need to deal with a Hazy, being Super Rush Headlong. And it's Periton. Okay. This is not as good. This is not as good. This is where having Floodgate would be extremely nice, but we obviously don't. So he can get out... a Sphinx and probably a Cerberus. No, he's getting double Sphinx. See, the only thing I don't get, like, why are you running balance with Hazy Flame? Because, like, now, how are you gonna know to call what Hazy Flame monster? Like, you know, the common joke is that everyone's cheating. Let's see, what would I rather do? Do I want to protect my shell or my rocket? I don't think protecting the shell makes any sense. I'm gonna protect the rocket. I don't know what his face down is. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would have made more sense to not take the life point damage, but it's okay. Not a big deal. So now we can activate our Super Rush. I wish that we had the second Super Rush, the one that's now pinned, because we could actually protect ourselves versus both of these monsters. Just go for Beast Rising. It makes sense that that was the card that he would have had. So yeah, now I don't know how we can possibly win this. Like, legitimately, we lose this next turn. I'm not even gonna bother. Like, we are going to lose. So I'm just gonna go ahead and surrender, because I want to get like at least 2 more duels. This has been a long video anyway, because I did like a very long intro. But yeah, you can see like this deck. I mean, Hazy is just a really great deck right now. There's not a lot that I could have done to it, period. It's just a weird skill to run. Like, I mean, unless like the person is like legitimately cheating, but like I don't know. Is that really that rampant in this game? I don't really know. It's hard to say. So now we're going up against another Kaiba. So is this going to be another Phoenix? Is this going to be Red Eyes? It's hard to say. And I guess we'll know for sure, like, if he goes for something like Restart. Cool, we did pretty much draw the nuts, so I'm very happy about that. So we can add the Blaze Accelerator to our hand and get ourselves set up for next turn. We'll go ahead and set the Floodgate and turn there. But yeah, we don't know exactly what he's playing, but there's a decent chance that it is Phoenix. I wasn't paying attention to the map that the guy had before. I feel like I have to Floodgate this, because he's going to be able to attack over my rocket otherwise. So, I got a Super Rush, which is nice, because this does appear to be Hazy. So this is Beatdown Hazy, so he must be running, like, Mausoleum, which makes a lot of sense. So we can set our Super Rush, which will help ourselves be protected versus a fat Hazy. We can attack into this and swing for a little life point damage. He's got Karibo? I guess Beatdown Hazy does run Karibo. So that makes sense. Because, like, Beatdown, like, basically you only run, like, 5 Spell or Trap cards. Or maybe 6. Like, you run 3 Mausoleum, 3 Beast Rising, and then you run 14 monsters. So you've got, like, what, like, 9 Hazy Flame monsters. Plus Flame Tiger, plus 3 Canine Tour. So that's 13, and then you would run 1 Karibo. So that makes sense to me. Yeah, but he's going to get out the Flame Tiger, which he should be able to use to summon out the Hazy Flame, thinks, or whatever Hazy Flame he happens to have in his hand. This is where it stinks that I burned the Floodgate earlier, because that would have been really nice. Now I'm not going to be able to deal with 2 Hazies on the field unless I get another Super Rush. Or if I get Goka, Goka would be fine too. So, but that's only 2 cards out of my next 13 that I can, like, feasibly draw here. Otherwise, I'm kind of going to be screwed again. And, yeah, it just stinks that we drew into, like, the worst matchup, or one of the worst matchups for Volcanics 2 games in a row. Hopefully we don't get demoted, but I guess we'll see. And he's gonna beat down. Whew, that's scary. That is pretty scary. I guess I can Firestorm Guards. Let me go ahead and activate my Super Rush here. Super Rush really putting in work in all these games so far. I'm really enjoying this. Like, Econ is still a very good card. I had a copy of it in this deck for a while. But it's just not as good versus, what do you call it? I mean, it's not that Cyber Angels isn't as good. It's not as mandatory. And Econ's still good on its own, it's just not that good in this deck. This isn't the sort of deck that, like, really tries to OTK a lot. Yeah, so again, I don't think we're going to be able to win this. Honestly, I think my best bet is to try and crash into both of these Hazies. As goofy as that sounds. And I don't think it's going to work because I think he's got a Karibo in hand. Yeah, there it is. So let's see if he protects this one. And it seems like he does. Yeah, like, worst case, like, this helps me put more stuff into my grave for Firestorm Guards. But, like, depending upon what card he has in his hand, he could just win this turn. If he's got something he can normal summon, then I lose. Yep, and there it is. So I definitely lose now. So, gave it a good shot, but that's going to be another loss to Hazy. Maybe I'll use Hazy in the next video, just because it is a very good deck. In Volcanics, yeah, it's just... like, even if you get, like, it's not that good if you can't get your engine going, but even if you can get your engine going, there's a certain couple decks that it just loses to. Hazy being one of them. Like, I don't know what else I guess I could run another Super Rush. It's like drop a Windstorm or Curse of Anubis or something. The Divine Wrath isn't necessary, but I still like Divine Wrath. So we're going to be against Crowler. Is this going to be a middle-aged mechs deck? Or is it going to be a beat-down deck? Or maybe like a restart deck? Nope, it does seem to be Ancient Gears. So, I feel like this deck does pretty well versus Ancient Gears. So, what do I... Oh, God, this is another really trash hand. This is a really trash hand. I guess I can Floodgates... I'm just gonna set a lot. Do I want to set the Divine Wrath right now? I guess I do. Just in case there's a way for me to discard Shell. I wouldn't hate discarding Shell so that I can add a second Shell. And just remove it from my deck, you know? I don't want to be drawing Shells. I want to be adding it with its ability. And there is a Knight coming out here. Let's just go ahead and Floodgate this. I think that's best. I might have to summon my Firestorm Guards. It makes me so sad to summon Firestorm Guards when there's no recycling that I can do. Because I just know it's like a wasted opportunity. Alright, so we do get Blaze Accelerator. So, do I want to... Let's see here. I'm just wondering, do I want to... No, it's going to be better to activate Firestorm Guards. Or rather, just to summon it. That's going to be the better thing. And I can save this for later. Because I can at least destroy a monster this way. And then I have something out for protection. I think this is the right play. It's really hard to say. So he's going to econ me, which is totally fine. It's not a big deal if he gets Golem out next turn. Like, I do have, like, I think I'll probably just take I'll take 1,800 points of damage, which isn't great. But then I can kill both of his cards next turn, because I have Shell plus Blaze Accelerator. And if I can kill his Golem, then, like, I feel like I'm in business versus this deck. You know, I don't mind that I burned, that he blocked my attack. You know, I burnt his econ. I'm happy to do that. So, it's just another slow-paced duel. This deck is super duper slow. The next video, I'm gonna probably use something that's a little bit more exciting. Dark Worlds is something that I might use, but I need to get a second Trance Archfiend before I do that. Or sorry, a third Trance Archfiend. What do we want to do here? Do I want to protect? I feel like I do want to protect this guy. Yeah, I think I do. So I'll go ahead and declare Earth here. Just the reason being, I can obviously destroy this thing pretty easily next turn. And leave myself in good position. I got a second shell. So this is kind of why I was thinking about using Blaze Accelerator last turn. Reason being, now I just drew a card that I was going to add to my hand anyway. So it's not... Like, I would have much rather drawn, like, a Floodgate or something. That would have been a lot nicer. But, you know, what are you going to do? So we can go ahead and toss a shell. Hopefully he doesn't have any way to counter this. He has rare Metamorph. So, what if I discard a second time? Does that work? Once negate a spell effect that targets that monster. I think I can just do it again, right? I guess we'll find out if not. I didn't have to discard anything. This would be great if it works. Yeah, I really don't get how this is working right now. Well, that's okay. Maybe next turn I can destroy it. But if he summons Golem this turn, there won't be a next turn. So we'll see. Just cross your fingers. Let's hope he doesn't have it. If he does have it, then we're going back to Legend 1. He's got an Electro, which is not a ton better. But we can actually kill this. We can go ahead and Divine Wrath, which I don't hate doing. So as long as we don't draw our third shell, I think I'll be happy. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to... Yeah, I guess that he's still going to be protected next turn, but we can try, and it's not going to cost us anything, as we saw. Like, we don't have to discard the shell if we don't destroy the thing. So there is a Floodgate here. Here, let me just quickly add shell. Because, again, I don't want to draw it. We might still be in trouble. Depending upon what he plays next. Okay, let's see if this will work. Does it work now? No? Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Yeah, that really stinks. Like, Rare Metamorph just isn't played that much in Ancient Gears. Which is really frustrating. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be another L, so... It stinks that we went 1 and 3 in the episode today. But, you know, I'm not really ashamed of uploading losses. Here, this will be a nice funny play. Let's see what he's got. He's got like Floodgate or something. Please Floodgate my shell. That would be so awesome. So what we can do here is we can then crash with this guy. Just in case he's got Karibo, we'll turn the toggle to on. And now we can activate this. And who knows, maybe we can continue to stall him out if he doesn't have another monster in hand. We want Earth. You know, maybe we have a chance. But I assume he's got like an Econ. Yeah, that's exactly what he's got. So he can stop our attack. But yeah, if he's got any monster at all, then we lose. But it is what it is. But yeah, no, even though we lost a lot more than we won in this, I don't mind uploading it. I'm a little bummed because, you know, I really wanted to play Volcanics because I think they're really cool, and I've enjoyed it ever since it made a top cut out of YCS a few years ago. It was right after Tri-Blaze Accelerator Reloaded came out. And I thought it was a really cool archetype since then, because you have Volcanic Scattershot basically acting like a Raigeki, and being able to destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and it just seems really consistent. But I don't think it's to that level in Duel Links. And I invested in this box, hoping that it could be a reliable deck, but I just don't think that it is. On the Duel Links meta server, it is listed as a tier 3 deck, but I don't think it's even that good, which is a bummer. And the tier list isn't really based on anything other than a few people's opinions anyway. And like, I'm not trying to say that the people who decide the tier list are bad players or anything. Like, they definitely are good, but it's again just purely based on their opinion. I don't know why it's such a hard time saying purely. So it just, and then in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna be a super competitive deck. Not in its current state. Maybe soon, if they get some better support, it'll be top tier or at least competitive. It just isn't consistent enough, and even in the cases where you do get the right cards, sometimes it's just not enough. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. That was a nice long episode, filled with a lot of losing, but make sure you check out the channel for other gaming, Pokemon, Duel Links content, you name it. And until the next time, I'll see you guys later.